pressure angle. Since there are three pressure angle systems, we are selecting 20-degree pressure angle, which is normally means if you take any helical gears, you will find 80% of the helical gears will have this 20-degree pressure angle. Remaining 20% will have 14.5 or 25-degree pressure angle. Type of tooth, again, the full depth system. And quality of cut, we can say we are going for commercially cut, means you can suppose this product wears out faster, then you can directly buy this product from the market because it is commercially cut. It will be available in the market commercially. Then type of system, closed system, type of gearbox, non-corrected, and gearbox layout, unsymmetrical. These are the initial assumptions to start our gearbox design. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, now helical gear design exercise we are doing. We are going for number of stages. We don't know whether we are having two stage at this moment. This diagram is just convention at this moment, but we are going to check how many number of stages are required. So for that, we need to calculate transmission ratio. We need to calculate transmission ratio here. So this transmission ratio I dash is equal to input shaft speed upon output shaft speed. So at this moment, we don't know whether it's N4 or NN. Let's be, at this moment, I am assuming maybe two stage will be there. Let's evaluate exactly two stage or three stages. So N1 upon, that is the input speed upon output speed, we get this stage ratio, transmission ratio is 60. Now for this transmission ratio, what should be the number of stages? Now here I am saying the number of stages required are 2. Where this has come from? This has come from PHG 8.3 table number 4. Let's go and check whether how we are deciding this number of stages. Let's go to the PHG data book here. Page number 8.3. This is your page number 8.3 here above. Yeah. There are standard gear ratio. Now, if you look at the standard gear ratio, so there are single stage ratio, two stage reduction, and three stage reduction gearbox or three stage ratio. Now, if you see the single stage, now we require transmission ratio of almost 16 here. सिंगल स्टेज में ये कॉलम में 3.15 तक रेशो है, देन 3 उसके आगे 3.55, देन मैक्सिमम अवेलेबल इन अ सिंगल स्टेज इज 10. So this cannot be done with a single stage speed reduction. The speed reduction cannot is higher. We need to go for multi-staging. So when you are going for multi-staging, two-stage reduction 7 or above, it should be at least minimum 8 होना चाहिए. So if you look from this diagram, so we have 16 ratio required here. Transmission ratio required is 16. So which falls under two-stage reduction. It falls under two-stage reduction. Now somebody say I will go for three-stage. No, three-stage you can say what is the minimum value required here. So for three-stage reduction, minimum value is 40. And with the two-stage reduction, you can go up to maximum 50. You can see the another column for two-stage reduction is here, starting with 20. So maximum ratio, you can go in two stages 50, minimum around 7 to 8. So since we required 16 as the stage ratio, transmission ratio, so we should have number of stages 2 here. We should have number of stages 2 here. So that's why we are going for a number of stages as 2 here. Let's go back to the presentation. Okay, so we have come back to the presentation again here. In this, we have determined the number of stages required are 2. This has come from table number 4 of PHG 8.3. So this citation is mandatory when you are selecting the number of stages here. 2. Now, based on this number of stages 2, we are calculating stage ratio. When we are going for mostly for any design of gearbox, we try to have same stages for economical operation. That is, it is advised to go for economical production of gearbox or gearbox arrangement. The stage ratio try to maintain same stage ratio for each stage. So from that, we are determining this from the geometric progression. From geometric progression, I is equal to, that is the stage ratio, assuming equal stage reduction in each stage, square I dash nth root. So here it is two stage, so it will be square root. If it is three stage, then it will be cube root. So we have transmission ratio as 16. The square ratio will come, square root will come as 4. So we required here stage ratio of the order of 4. Again, if we go to the page number PHE 8.3, so 4 is a standard ratio. It is available. Just right now we have seen this table. We will go back and check that table again. But this is the standard available. But at the same time, we need to select the standard number of teeth from the gear ratio in each stage. Now, if we go for the consideration of wear of the tooth, preferably, even though 4 is a standard ratio permitted with some variation. So this is a standard value of I with some variation. So the table value which select the number of teeth will have a standard ratio of 3.98. There is no much difference between 4 and 3.98. So we will be selecting the number of teeth required on the gear from the page number 8.8 to 8.12, depending upon your stage ratio. So there we find out the standard ratio available is 3.98. So let's go and now if it check the 3.98 stage ratio, then transmission ratio will be slightly changed. Now here the I dash was 16. Now this I dash value will be slightly changed. So if we multiply, there are two stages. So I1 into I2. So 3.98 in each stage. So this comes out to be 15.84. So this ratio comes out to be 15.84. Now, since the output shaft speed should be around 90 RPM, yeah, this is the required speed at the output 90 RPM. We expecting 90 RPM at the output shaft. Now, if we take stage 1 ratio, that is 3.98, and try to determine the second shaft speed based on the input shaft speed. Input shaft speed is 1440 RPM. Stage 1 ratio is 3.98. If we divide this input speed, then we get the intermediate shaft speed as 361.80 RPM. Similarly, for stage 2, again the stage ratio is 3.98. So this is the last stage. So the output speed N4 will be, that is the output shaft speed, will be intermediate shaft speed upon 3.98. Actually, this is 361.80. This is a typing error. Please understood it. So divided by 3.98. So this value gives you 90.90 RPM. What was expected? 90. What is we are getting actual speed right now? 90.90 RPM. This is the design speed and this is the actual speed. So if I select the standard ratio of 3.98 from the table value, then speed deviation here, what is the speed deviation here? S is equal to actual speed minus design speed upon design speed into 100. So this comes out to be 1% plus 1%. And as I told, the speed deviation up to 2% is allowed in the gearboxes. So since this deviation is within the control, so selecting transmission ratio or stage ratio of 3.98 and 3.98 for stage 1 and 2 respectively is acceptable. So we have right now we have selected number of stages and the stage ratio. Now let's go for the number of teeth on the gears on the next slide here. You can go for the 8.2 and 8.12 pages. I will show again in this calculation. So we are selecting here 20 degree full depth in-load system. Full depth in-load system. As per minimum number of teeth on pinion to avoid interference from the page number 8.1, Z minimum is equal to 2 F naught upon sin alpha square, where alpha is the pressure angle and F naught is equal to 1 in this case. So this comes out to be 17.09. Now, since we are going to design only first pair, but since there are same teeth on the second pair also, so Z1 is equal to Z3 here, we are assuming a Z minimum. Now, even though it is 17.010, even you can select 17 also, no problem. You can select 18, you can select 19. So today we are selecting 19. Now to get the value of Z2, we have this calculation 75.68 आता है, and Z4 also comes at same because same ratio, so same 75.68. Now you can have option to select here 75, or you can have option to select 76. But these options are available on these tables on the page number 8.12. So let's go back to page number 8.12 and see how we have selected the pair, gear pair here. Okay, so we have come on the page number 8.12 here. Our stage ratio is 3.98. Let's see the 3.98 stage ratio. Let it come into the visible area. Okay, so we have stage ratio 3.98. Since we have selected minimum number of teeth on the pinion are 19, so three pairs are possible: 1975, 1976, and 1977. Okay. Uh, so you can select 75 teeth on gear, you can select 76 teeth on gear, and you can select 77 teeth on gear. So since we have selected 19 on pinion, so you can have choice here. Three teeth possibility of choice is there. Depending upon the availability in the market, also you can change this thing. But there should be correction in the center distance. Center distance के हिसाब से change करना पड़ता है. So say again, if you go by speed deviation, if you select 19.76, speed deviation will be minimum. That is just 0.5 percentage. If you select 75, then it will be 0.9%. And if you select 77, it will be 1.8%. They are still, all three are in acceptable range. The minimum speed deviation is with 19 is to 76. That's why we are selecting 19.76 for stage ratio of 3.98. So this way we are finalizing the number of teeth on pinion and gear in the first pair. Okay, so let's go back to again. This is available on page number 8.12. You can see the page number 8.12 here. Let's go back to the presentation. Okay, so we have selected now gear pair here having Z1 teeth are 19 and Z2 here. It is correction here. Z2 is equal to 76 and Z3 and Z4 again similar in nature, same geometric progression. So Z3 is 19 and Z4 is 76. So we have now 1976 combination here, 1976 and 1976 combination here because it is now two-stage gearbox here. Let's go to the module calculation now, right now. Now, next step is deciding weaker element between pinion and gear. Now, since the material is not provided in the problem, so you need to select the gear pair material. So, since the power is high, we need to select the slightly high strength materials. So, we are going to the page number 8.4, table number 5. So, there the gear pair materials are available. I am saying the gear pair materials are available means there is a, if you select one particular pinion material, then automatically the material for gear gets finalized. Let's see from the table number 5 on 8.5 page how we, once I select 40CR1, then automatically gear material will be C50. Just check it. Okay. So this is the table number 5 on page number 8.4, which decides the your gear and pinion material. Our ratio is around 3.98, which is less than 8. As so, there are two possibilities. You can have the material with hardness value less than 350, or you can have material with hardness greater than 350. These are normally high strength materials and these are slightly low strength materials. So let's go for the low strength material because our design is a commercial design. So since I is less than 1, so these are the pairs available. So when you select C45 material, then these are the combinations available for wheel material. So pinion and gear wheel. So I have selected pinion material as 40 CR because power transmitted to be slightly higher. So I am going on the higher range. So these are the alloy materials. So these are the plain carbon steel material. यहाँ तक ये plain carbon steel material. First three materials are plain carbon steel materials, and last three combinations are alloying elements. So alloy steels are there. So these are the alloy steel material for pinion, and this here the combination wheel material may not be alloy, but some this is plain carbon steel. Here it is alloy, and here it is also alloy. So when we are selecting here gear pair, once you select a pinion material, corresponding gear wheel material has to be selected. You cannot change. You are selecting one material from this point and one material for wheel from this point. No, that is not allowed. So these are the standard pairing. Even you can see for HB greater than 350, there is also standard pairing here. So once you select this material, then you can check for the properties. So we have selected this pair, that is 40 CR or C50, means carbon content in the range from 0.45% to 0.55%. So average content is around 0.5%. So this 40 CR means around point average carbon content is around 0.4%. So even it can come down to 0.35, or it can go high as 0.45, and chromium contain around 1% or 0.1%. Okay, so this pair is selected. Now we have to look for the properties. If we go to the presentation again, here we have selected the material 40 CR1 for pinion, and for gear material or wheel material C50. So which have been selected from table number 5. Now the formula for Lewis factor, we know y is capital Y is equal to pi into small y. Now let's take pinion. Pinion we have 19 teeth. We are considering helix angle. Helix angle is in the range from 8 to 25 degree. So I am considering helix angle here as 15 degree. So you may have question कि sir ध्यान में कैसे रखना है? How to remember whether to take 10, 12, 15? This is available on the page number 8.50, the range of helix angle there. So it is in between 8 to 25. 25 is the maximum angle used for helical gear. But if you go for herringbone gear, this value can be as high as up to 45 to 50 degree. So based on your type of helical gear, you are selecting this value. Since we are selecting normal helical gear, so this value cannot be greater than 25. Then we are calculating virtual tip on the pinion. So formula for virtual tip is Z1 dash up is equal to Z1 upon cos cube psi. So we have Z1 is equal to 19, which is taken from the previous slide. So we by putting psi is equal to 15 here, we get 21.08. So this formula is available. So how to remember this formula? This formula is available on PHG 8.1. This is already demonstrated last time, so I will not repeat that. Then Lewis form factor for virtual tip. So this is coming as this calculation point. This is available from PHG 8.50. So you can get this formula and you can do the calculation here. So we get capital Y for your pinion as pi into 0.11 into 0.3478. Now let's go to the property of 40 CR1. So where to take this property? These properties are available from PHG 8.5 table number 7. Let's check how this value of sigma P and sigma C is taken from this table. So we are going to the page number 8.5. Here summarized table. Not all material property they have given, but summarized table is given. Now we have selected the property, that is we have selected 40 CR. So 40 CR ERE. So 40 CR1. This is and these are the other alloying elements. So we have selected this is a pinion material. So for this pinion material, sigma ultimate tensile strength is greater than 155 kJ per millimeter square. Then surface hardness for core it is 250, and if you do the case hardening, it can go up to maximum 600. Now, sigma B value, this is the design stress value for module up to 6 mm and module between 7 to 20 mm. Right now, we don't know what is the module size will be coming. Let's assume module is up to 6 mm. So my design stress value will be 4000 kgf per centimeter square. And the crushing stress value here is 11,000 kgf per centimeter square for, this is for pinion material. Similarly, we have gear material, which is C50. So C50 is very close to C45. So sometimes you may not get the entire data for all materials. So C45, you can say your C50 values will be greater than C45 by some amount. So if you see here, the sigma B value here is 1400, and your sigma C value here is 5000 kgf per centimeter square. So these values are in kgf per centimeter square. When we are writing in our solution, we are able to write in Newton per millimeter square. So you have to simply divide by 10 to get these values in Newton per millimeter square. So let's go back to the presentation where these values are written and done the calculation here. Now check out the value. Sigma B value for 40 CR1 is 4000 kgf. So it is 400 Newton per millimeter square. And for sigma C value was 11,000 kgf per centimeter square. So it will be 1100 Newton per millimeter square. Now for pinion material, this product Y is calculated. So sigma B Y product is the relative strength factor formula. So relative strength is right now it is 139.15 Newton per millimeter square. Now similarly, we are doing the calculation of gear. So we have 76 teeth. Then we are doing the calculation of virtual teeth on the gear. So that comes out to be 84.33. Then we are calculating Lewis form factor from formula from 8.50 for 20-degree pressure angle. So we are getting this value as 11431. Then capital Y by multiplying by small pi, we get this value as 0.4498. Then these materials I have showed C45 and C50 are not far away. So C45 or C50 are having similar properties. So even C50 will have better than this property. So we are going for lower value, no issue. So we are getting sigma B as 140 and sigma C as 500. Then sigma B Y product here for gear material is coming as 64.77. So to identify the weaker element, we normally compare sigma by product. So this is for pinion 139 and sigma by for gear, it is 64. So from this observation, we come to know the gear is weaker element here. So if we go to the next slide, here, sigma B for pinion is greater than sigma B5 Y for gear. So from above relation, gear is weaker compared to pinion. So now now we are going to the calculation of module. So which will be applied for gear here. So let's calculate the rated torque. So to calculate rated torque, this formula is available. Now this is the input torque MT based on the input speed of 1440 RPM, 20 kilowatt, 60. So this is the input torque, input pinion shaft torque is this much, 132,629 Newton millimeter. Now this is the pinion shaft. Since we are designing gear, so we should know what is the torque on the gear shaft. So gear shaft, the stage ratio is 3.98. So the gear shaft torque will be enhanced by that value. So 3.98 into the pinion shaft torque. So this value is 527,863 Newton millimeter. Now this is your rated torque. This cannot be used in the design calculation. We need to convert this value into the design torque. So design torque here MT max is equal to KDK into MP, where KDK depends upon the type of your carrying arrangement. So there are the table values. There are two values available, 1.3 and 1.5. So we are selecting 1.5 from PAG to 8.15. So this value of KDK product is available on PAG 8.15. If you want to see, you can, I will demonstrate that. So this is so many times you have demonstrated, so I will not go back for demonstration here. So we get the formula, this value as 791,795.8 Newton millimeter. So this is the your torque value on the shaft. Now this value of module will be calculated by using Levis equation for beam strength. So from the page 8.13a. Now if you check this equation, module का जो equation है इसमें क्या change है? Same, everything same as your per gear formula. Only what is changed here is this cos psi multiplication is here. And here it was 1.26. This coefficient has changed to 1.15. I will show this formula again so that you can compare this formula here. Let's go back to the formula here. Okay, so formula based on the beam strength for pin teeth here. We are going for helical gear. So normal module here is 1.15. Okay, this is the spur formula 1.26. So it will be changed as 1.15. A term, additional term. Now beta they are used as helix angle. We are using psi. So for us it will be cos psi. Then cube root design torque value here. Sigma by y here will be for virtual number of teeth, that is capital Y here, and psi m that is b by m ratio here. So b by m ratio here, and into z1 here. So psi m is taken as around 10. That b is normally taken as 10. So we use b by m here as 10. So psi m is nothing but b by m. So the same formula with small modification I have written in the presentation. So this is available on 8.13a page. So this is the formula for helical gear design. Initial module calculation. Let's go back to the design presentation. Okay, so by putting the values in this equation, we have calculated each and every value. We know helix angle is 15. This is the design torque just calculated above here. Then we are using the weaker value. Weaker value is for gear. So sigma by value for weaker here. Small mistake I have done. Here it is instead of 19, it should be 76. It should be 76 because we are designing for gear. So it should be 76. So that will change your calculation, and that comes out to this value may come in the range of 4 to 4.45 millimeter. So this is the initial design value. For improving the strength, we can take around 15 to 25% extra. So I am taking 20% extra here. So this value comes up to be as 5.34 millimeter. So this is the initial module calculation. Now you will be referring the PhD data book on page number 8.2, and you will be finalizing this module value from the standard. So that is, we have done the calculation in the next slide. So from the data table, standard value for module under choice 1 from PhD 8.2 is 6 mm. So it is actually 6 mm here. So we have then calculation of pinion diameter here, 6 into 19 upon cos 15, that is 118.02 mm. Then calculation of gear size, DG, that is 6 into 76 upon cos 15, that is 472.08 millimeter. As per our psi m value is equal to 10, that is b by m is equal to 10, we can have this face width as 60 mm. But in the previous lecture, I have talked about minimum face width. Minimum face width has to be greater than or equal to pi mn upon sin psi. So if I put this value of mn here as 6 millimeter, this value comes out to be 72.82. And by this relation, it is coming 60. So out of this, the maximum value should be selected as the face width. This is smaller, this is bigger. So we are selecting the approximate value of B is equal to 75. Okay. So understood how to select the face width value of helical gear. It is not just only 10 mm calculation. You need to calculate the minimum face width also. Compare these two values and then you select the correct value. Now next is calculation of design stress. So for calculating design stress here, we have formula, this formula here on the page number 8.13. So this is the formula available on page number 8, sigma c formula on the page number 8.13. You can check contact stress formula. on the page number 8, 8.13. Helical gear, this is the formula: zero point 0.7 I plus minus 1 upon A square root of I plus minus 1 upon IB into E into MT less than equal to C. So E here is the equivalent Young's modulus for gear and pinion material. Now, sometimes your materials may have the values very, very far different. Then you have to find out the equivalent Young's modulus here. Since in our case at this moment we have same, both are steel materials, so E value will be same. Okay, let's go back to the calculation. Now we are doing the calculation of contact stress. With this formula, we require the input of center distance. So center distance for first pair here will be A1 is equal to M into Z1 plus Z2 upon 2 cos psi. So by putting the values of Z1, Z2 and psi here, we get center distance as 292.05 mm. Now we know I ratio here is 3.98, B here, B minimum is 75 mm. E value from the table again, this is available from the PAG table here. Since both the materials are steel, so equivalent Young's modulus is 2.15. So after putting this design torque value in the equation of contact stress here, if we put this value in the contact stress here, this value here, A value here, I value here, and you are using plus sign, even though it is minus, we are using plus sign here in the calculation. So we get this the design torque. This is the face width of the gear. We get this value as 636.11 Newton per millimeter square. So what we observe here, why my design value for gear is permitted value is around 500, and how much induced value 636. So induced value is greater than the design stress value, crushing stress value. So the design is failed here. So we need to revise the model here, or because if you see the difference is large here, induced value is 636 and permitted is 500. So there is no choice. We have to go for revising the model. If the difference is small, then we can simply increase the hardness of that surface by some heat treatment, and we can keep the same model here. So since this difference is more, we are going for revising the value. So 6K over 7I. So with M is equal to 7 mm, dP and dZ will change. dP will come as 137.69. dZ will come as 550.76 mm. Normal relation 70 mm, but minimum face width with module of 7 mm, it is 84.96. So we are selecting 85. So the revised face width will be now 85. So with this revised face width value, the center distance, revised center distance will be 344.22. So when you put these values here in this equation, this value comes as 506. This value is 506, permitted value is 500. So very close. So now we will not further increase this M value to 8 mm. We will keep 7 mm. And what we can do, you can give a slight heat treatment to your gear surface. So you can increase the hardness of that surface by small value. Automatically, the crushing strength sigma c design value will change there. So instead of 500, it will become 600 there. So then it will become automatically safe. So without changing the module value, we can, since this difference is just 1%. So when this difference is just 4 or 5%, you can change your design. You can keep your same design, and you can improve the material property by heat treatment. So here I have not written that note, but you can write that note at the bottom after solving this problem here. You can accept this design with module of 7 mm by uh, providing additional heat treatment to the gear surface. Okay. So we are finalizing module as 7 mm, and now let's go for the dynamic load calculation here. Okay, so next step is our dynamic load calculation. We are considering first pair here. So the your Lewis equation, from Lewis equation, beam strength MB sigma B Y here is M is 7, B here is 85, and sigma B Y product for pin gear material here. Gear material is 64.77. So this is the minimum beam strength, 38.54 kilonewton. Now dynamic load from PAG 8.51. This formula is available for just 1 minute. This is the formula for spur gear. The formula for helical gear I have changed here. This is the formula for spur gear. There is a small change in this formula. यहाँ पे you need to multiply by cos square psi, and outside you have to multiply by cos psi. Here inside you have to multiply by cos square psi. So the revised formula I have written here. This is the formula for the helical gear. So this is the formula for spur gear. Don't refer this. The same formula is available on 8.51 only for helical gear. So this is the formula for helical gear. And in this formula we require FT. So FT for is equal to 2 MT upon EG here. Since we are doing the calculation for gear, so we are taking diameter of gear here. So torque on gear upon diameter of gear into 2 will give you the value as tangential value as 287528 Newton. Then speed, it's a pitch line velocity, whether you calculate from input shaft or whether you calculate from intermediate shaft. Since it is for common point, contact point, then it will be same. So I am calculating from input shaft, that is pi d1 n1 upon 60,000. So this value comes as 10.38 meter per second. Now to get the value of this C here, we have to refer page number, table number 41 and 42, PAG 8.53. Let's check how this value has come, E value and C value. .53. No, not this slide. Yeah. 8.53 page. We are selecting here. See what is the we are selecting the value of C here from table number 41. This is our table number 41 from 8.53 page. We have both the material, pinion and gear material are steel and steel. So my combination is 20-degree full depth involute, and steel and pinion is steel, gear is steel. So my formula is 11860 into E, where E is in millimeter here. So where this E value we will be getting from table number 42. So table number 42, our module is 7, module is 7, and we have commercially cut gears. We have assumed that we are using commercially cut gears. For module value of 7, this error value E is equal to 0.072. So this is the tooth profile error in the gear, that is 0.072. So the C value will be now 11860 into 0.072. So that calculation we have done in the design yard. So you can see here the design calculation C here is equal to 11860 into E, that is 11860 into 0.072, that is equal to 853.92. So same value we have put in this formula. Velocity is known, FT is known. So this formula FD comes out to be, by putting, see here, V is 10.38, C is 853.92, B here is 85, and psi is 15. So after putting this value here, we get this value as the dynamic load by Buckingham equation as 3168 Newton or 3.16 kilonewton. So if you compare this value with your beam strength value, it's very, very small. So your design is set. So SB is greater than FD here. Your beam strength value is greater than the dynamic load. So the design is set. So it is not failing in the this thing. So next go to the dynamic load calculation velocity factor method. Many times we need to cross check with both the methods. So I am checking now with the velocity factor, checking for dynamic load. SB will not change. SB will remain same. FT will be remain same. Velocity will also remain same. What will change is the velocity factor. So velocity factor will be CV is equal to here. Commercially cut gear, this formula is available. CV is equal to 3 plus V upon 3. So that comes out to be 4.46. So this formula is available on PAG 8.51. Again, the dynamic load formula is available on PAG 8.50 for helical gear. So CV into FT. So I will show this page number 8.50 and 8.51, how the value of CV and how the value of FD formula is taken from the page number 8.50 and 8.51. Okay, so we are going this formula for helical gear, dynamic load I have told is available on 8.51. This is the formula I have used in the calculation in the earlier slide. Now we are going for the velocity factor method. So we have formula on 8.50 here. Yes, per gears here. FD is equal to FT into CV. The same formula we are using for helical gear because it is cylindrical gear. So there is no much changes. You can see here. So there is no much changes here. CV values for the helical gears are same as per gear. Since CV values are same, so your calculation of your dynamic load by velocity factor method will be also same. So CV value is available on the page number here, 151. Yeah, CV is equal to, you can check this value here. Yeah, we have velocity around 10 meter per second, just 10.38. So it is very close to 10 meter per second. And commercially cut wheels are there, or commercially cut gears are there. So CV is equal to 3 plus V. Vm is the mean velocity, or V upon 3. So we have CV and that FD value there. So when you do this calculation, because there is no much difference in the velocity factor application between helical gear and spur gear. So if you do this calculation here, we have FD is equal to CV into FT from page number 50. From page number 8.51, CV comes out to be 4.46. Putting this value, you get the dynamic load by velocity factor method is equal to 12.82 kilonewton. Now my capacity is 30.54. So this value again is less than 38.54. So my beam strength is greater than FD. So my design is safe. So the design is safe here. Similarly, we can go to the next slide here to check now wear load calculation. We have formula for wear load, that is SW is equal to FW is equal to B cube dPk upon cos cube psi. So first we are checking for pinion. So this ratio factor 2Zg upon Zg plus Zp, or 2I upon I plus 1. So this comes out to be 1.6 in this case for 4 ratio. Then K value, sigma C square sin alpha 1 upon E1 plus 1 upon E2 upon 1.4. So since material is pinion, so pinion ka sigma C design stage value is 1100 Newton per millimeter square. E1 and E2 are same. So we come to know load stress factor here is 2.74. So by putting this in this formula above here, P is 85, Q is 1.6, dP here is 137.69, which is calculated in previous slide, and K here is 2.74. Here, wear strength of this pinion is around 55.18 kilometers, so which is greater than FD. So whatever FD you, whether you do it the calculation by Buckingham or velocity factor method, in both the cases, SW here is greater than that. So design is safe in wear for pinion. Similarly, you can check it for your gear material. So Q will not change there. What will change is the K vector because the material is different here. So K here is will be design stress value for gear material. So which is 500. Here what it was 1100, it is now 500. So this load stress factor comes out to be 0.568. And from that SW comes out to be here. Here dP will be changing because this is where gear. So dP value will be dg value will come here. So by putting this value, we get the SW here is 45.61. It is weaker than pinion, but still this value is still greater than FD. So your design is safe in wear. So your gear is safe as well as pinion is safe in your wear. So your wear criteria is followed here. So we can go for the now your size calculation. We have now module 7 mm, center distance 344.22, millimeter, pinion teeth are 719, gear teeth are 76, face width is 85, height factor is 1, bottom clearance is 175, and tooth depth is 15.75. This is the final design. Now with this final design, let's check the type of gear you will require, construction details for the gear. So construction details for the gear, we are going to see here. Whether you require this type of gear, whether you require gear crank of this type, or whether you require wave type gear, or whether you require arm type gear. So this I already explained in previous lecture. Just for demonstration purpose, let's go to the calculation again here. So we have here a circular pitch pi into module. So pi into 7. 7 mm is the module here. So in millimeter it is 21.99. Since we use this value in terms of centimeter, so this value should be in 2.199 centimeter. So let's calculate pinion. Pinion का geometry ratio, size ratio 0.54, fourth root of TC into Z1 square. पीसी वैल्यू शुड बी यूज हियर इन सेंटीमीटर. गलती से भी हम मिलीमीटर में डाल देंगे, देन योर ज्योमेट्री फैक्टर विल चेंज. So by putting this value and 19 number of teeth here, we get this geometry factor as 2.919. And for gear, this geometry factor is 5.838. Now this value is 2.919. So this eta value is less than 3. Then we have to go for integral type gear. That is the first type of gearing arrangement. Means your material for the shaft is automatically now finalized. Since it is integral type gear, so shaft material should be again 40 CR. You cannot change the shaft material and you cannot have different gear there because it is an integral type gear. So your pinion shaft has same material as the pinion material. So pinion 1 will be having this value 2.919. So we are selecting integral type shaft arrangement for the pinion gear. And then gear 1, this value is 5.838, which is greater than 5. So we should go for arm type. Now when we are going for arm type, then we need to decide the number of arms here. So gear diameter is greater than 500 but less than 1500. So we can have 6 number of arms there. So since the gear size having geometry ratio as 5.83, we need to go for arm type with 6 number of arms. So if we go to the previous slide, we will come to know. See, for pinion shaft, you have to go like this. So this is your pinion having material 40 CR1, and this is your say shaft, pinion shaft. Then this shaft material should be again 40 CR1. This is directly mounted on the, mounted, or it is integral with that shaft material. It is not separate. It's directly cut on that shaft. The teeth are cut on that shaft. So this is the helical gear. Teeth directly cut on that shaft. So we require pinion shaft as an integral type gear. And the gear, that is the intermediate shaft पे जो gear डालने वाला है, so we require arm type. So you can go either for this arrangement or either for this arrangement, depending upon the your manufacturing process available and the strength, additional strength required in any design. So number of arms required will be here 6. So you can say this is the 3 and 3, 6 arms. So the you will have rim type arrangement here. So rim will be connected to the hub here. So the hub and rim connection is with the help of arms. So this is here we don't have hub here. We have plain ring here and another plain ring here, which are connected by arms here. So if your size is not very big, around 500 mm, this geometry also is okay. So we are selecting arm type with 6 arms as the uh, gear shape. So that completes your design here, and you can draw the 2D diagram of these two sketches, shaft, pinion shaft and gear arrangement. Draw the side view. So that completes your design. I have not drawn that, so we are stopping here. So we have completed your design. If you have any query, you can ask that out. You can type the question. You can type the question in the chat box. Okay. If you don't have question, we will stop. I will stop the recording here.